Hello, happy Friday! Hope you're doing very, very well. And we're just going to continue opening up shirts on this large classic football shirts delivery that we received. 1 down, 4 to go. As I've mentioned before, there's a good variety of stuff in here. So we can't really be disappointed with whatever it turns out to be. So let's just go for this thing. Out of the way. And so we'll put that to the side. And well, we're going to be in for a little bit of an education all around here, because this is going to be a brand new country to the collection, and probably one that you maybe even necessarily don't know exists. We shall see. So there is a version of the shirt. You've got the wrapping on there. You might see the manufacturer going on. It's a yellow one. And then we bring it around to the front. And yeah, like I said, very well done if you're familiar with this team, because I think you're lying if you say you are. Let's get it open. Let's get this one open and see what it's like in person. I can see the tags, and one would hope it is the correct size, but we'll go from here. So it's got the, feels like it's coming in. I'll get that to the size, got that. Now then, let's get to the rear of the shirt. So, here we go. So it is yellow, colours a lighter yellow and a darker yellow, horizontal stripe on the back. And then we've got some white running across the shoulders and a little bit on the collar. And then sleeves like half and half. Anyway, we've got some sponsors, Decathlon, which we should be familiar with as a brand. And then something at the bottom there, which probably won't be as familiar with. Let's bring it round to the front and see how it looks, shall we? Remove that tag out of the way, and there it is. So it's a continuation of the design. You can see it's front and rear, those horizontal stripes in yellow. We have the manufacturer Jivova Central front and center in this particular one, and then we have the club crest, which actually is, it's an amazing club crest, simply designed. And of course there is the club name. Like I said, you won't necessarily be familiar with it unless you've seen this shirt, I suspect. Everything is kind of screen printed into the material. It's very, very cheap, which I would expect considering the price that I paid for it. But yeah, I'll dress the mannequin and I'll explain to you pretty much everything about the shirt, the club, and the country that I could find online. Okie dokie then, so there is the shirt, yellow and white. We've already seen what the club crest says, AS Magenta, that is the club name. It's the home shirt from 2022-2023. Of course, it came from Classic Football Shirts. Bear in mind that this was bought during the 20% off sale around about the Christmas period. So the price I paid for this was £11.99. £11.99 for a single football shirt is great. But you know what's even better? They've actually dropped the price since then, and you can still buy this without discount right now for £9.99. £9.99 for a shirt. When I explain to you where this has come from, like, this is insanity. I don't understand. Everyone should go out and grab one of these very, very quickly. £9.99. So they were founded in 1968, this club. At least that's what I could tell. Wikipedia, very sparse about this particular club. Wouldn't mention it. It starts talking about how the most successful years were in the late 60s, early 70s. Well, I would have thought so if that's when they were founded. I went onto the club's website, which was all in French, and then translated it, and they are saying 1968. And apparently also the senior team wasn't founded until 1972. So take whatever you want from this, but it's from around that period that they were founded. They come from the city of Noumea, that's how I'm going to pronounce it, which is actually the capital city of New Caledonia. New Caledonia, new country to the collection. Well, I say new country. It's a French special overseas territory. So the French, like a lot of colonial countries, have a lot of bits of country, territories, islands that they still sort of look over. Sometimes they have more involvement than others, and this one, I think they just kind of let them do their own thing, but still have ultimately the final say, I suspect. Even though technically they are French, they are still FIFA registered, which is the reason why I've added this to my collection, as I'm only really focusing on those that are FIFA registered. I won't get into the geopolitics of the world. They currently play in the Super League, which is the top tier in New Caledonia. Surprise, surprise, that is not the only tier. There's apparently 4 of them, based on what Wikipedia is saying at the very least. And the club currently sits in 3rd position, which is pretty decent, not so far behind 1st place. Last season, they were champions, so it suggests that they probably want to try and sort of defend their title as the season progresses. Historically, it looks like they're one of the more successful teams. It's difficult to get a full understanding of who's won what, but they have won 12 league titles, so I can't imagine there's going to be too many with more than that. What's quite interesting about the French Coupe de France is that obviously it's their sort of primary cup. It's like the FA Cup of England. But what they also do is they include all of the clubs from the overseas territories. So these teams who are based in New Caledonia technically do enter the trophies, that particular trophy. However, they've got to go through some preliminary stages, shall we say. So in theory, technically this team here could end up playing against PSG, though a lot of things would have to happen for that to be the case. The main thing would be that this team would have to get insanely good. However, in 2010-2011, apparently the club reached the 8th qualifying round. How insane is that? Usually the 8th round of a cup is usually the final, but no, the 8th qualifying round, and they lost to Paris FC, who currently are like a League 2 second division team. So imagine that. If they would have qualified, I presume at 8th round is the first round after that. Regardless, they did beat Dunkirk, who are currently a second division team also. I'm not entirely sure how it works with regards to travel, because someone's going to have to travel a long way. I don't know if it's this team or the other team, or it just generally depends on who is at home. That would be a mad day out. Where are you going? New Caledonia. Anyway, so that's something to keep in mind, and that's why it's always an interesting trophy, the Coupe de France. When it comes to the national team of New Caledonia, I thought it might be interesting to throw that out there. They're currently ranked 152nd out of 210, which is obviously not amazing, but considering who this is, that's pretty decent. Certainly better than San Marino. They just sat under Moldova. So, yeah, and they don't really seem to play many games. Wikipedia suggests that they've not lost in like a year, but a lot of the games have been called off. So, yeah, it's it's small islands. I can imagine the infrastructure is not spectacular. The shirt is a Givelva shirt, which is like an Italian manufacturer. I've got a few of their stuff now. Do they do great shirts? I wouldn't use the word great. They just do decent enough shirts. It's quite lightweight material. I quite like the sort of the collar style going here. I don't like how that's central. I'd rather something be here because it's quite bare, but it's cost effective, and certainly if you can pick it up for less than £10, I mean, as a collector from a country or an area that is so obscure, I was loving it when I saw it. So that's that one. As with regards to the my collection, technically this is my only second shirt from Oceania, so that's where New Caledonia is based. From the point of view of the FIFA registered part, obviously Australia is based down there, but for FIFA they're based in Asia, blah blah blah, I won't get into it. So the only other one is New Zealand, and I've only got one from that particular country. So they don't pop up too often. So yeah, when I saw it and at the price, I definitely had to grab it straight away. So yeah, that's it really. And obviously I just love the crest. I presume it looks like some sort of deer or something sat on top of a football. How very cute. There we go. Brand new country to the collection. I have in the parcel at least one more. I think it's just one more to go, which is cool. That'd be an interesting one. And yeah, so I recommend, if you're interested in sort of interesting things and you don't always want to spend a lot of money, this is the one for you. Guys, thank you as always for watching the videos. Hope you have a great weekend ahead, and I will see you in whatever that is, probably next Friday. Thank you as always. Goodbye.